going to be a little bit different than what I usually have on my channel. I'm just going to record the process of starting this brand new TopFin 5-gallon retreat tank. I watched Aquarium Co-op do a review on this, and he mentioned that it was a great starter tank for your first planted aquarium. I got this tank at PetSmart for $39.99. PetSmart does price match from Petco and also Chewy.com, so you could possibly get it for cheaper, but I feel like $39 is a reasonable price. I just want to point out that I'm not an expert on this. All my knowledge is based off of YouTube and just little things here and there that I have learned along the way. So I just wanted to record my process on this first planted aquarium tank, and I'm excited for you to watch.
So what I have here are these Flourish tabs. This is a gravel bed supplement for the plants I'll be putting in this aquarium. This will serve as their food and nutrients and keep these plants alive in the aquarium. The second thing I have here is the API Quick Start. This helps eliminate the toxic ammonia and nitrate. It helps prevent from your fish dying in a new tank. It contains live nitrifying bacteria and it's all natural, so it's a good thing to have when you first start any tank. The third thing I purchased were these Fluval BioMax cubes. This is the 170 gram. This basically also helps with the elimination of ammonia and nitrate and just creates a better filtration system for your tank. The first plant that I have here is the Java Fern, which is a great starter plant for a planted aquarium. And the second is the Anubias Nana, which is also a great starter plant. I also purchased this Flora Max CaribSea aquarium substrate. It's a great substrate for any planted aquarium. I did rinse this out, even though most substrates say not to, but just to be sure and to reduce the cloudiness, I did rinse this one out before putting it in. Now we also purchased this substrate to put as the top layer. It's just a little bit less abrasive than the Flora Max, and that's just to keep the betta from injuring his fins or anything like that. So. Also, what I did was put the betta in this vase with the heater so he would be comfortable while I cycled and readied his tank. Here's a close-up of the box. I love how modern this tank looks. Alright, so we have the light here. We have the glass top, some instructions. So here is a little lid for the filter. We have a little filter cartridge, which I'm going to switch out. And this is the plug-in for that. I'm going to rinse this out and then get started. This is the heater I'm going to be using for this tank. I originally had bought a 50 watt, but I'm just going to go with this one. It has some decent reviews, but we're not going to keep this plugged in at all times. This is just for when the room temperature is not above 70 degrees. Right now it's summertime in Tennessee, so it gets really hot down here in the south. This is just for when I have the AC running and I want the tank to be at a steady 82 degrees. I have my first layer of substrate in here. I would say that's about an inch up, and I'm going to just top it off with a little bit of the black sand that I purchased. I've topped it off with the sand, and this step is completely optional. The only reason I did it is for it to be less abrasive. If the betta gets down too close to it, I just don't want it hurting his fins. So what I'm going to do is just outline this little cartridge and put it in as a replacement filter. I basically cut it out the same size as the cartridge that came with it. This is just a little pantyhose slit with those little BioMax Fluval cubes, and I just put them in here to help with that. I think what I'm going to do is put the heater in here and see how that works. How I'm going to put the water in here to not mess up the aquascape is putting this piece of cardboard in here so the water kind of rolls off of this and doesn't mess with how I put the plants in. So we've put the water in here, and as you can see, it's a little bit cloudy. that piece of cardboard helped a little bit with not messing with the aquascaping. We're gonna put the heater in here, let this filter out, and then in a couple of days I'll put the other little decorations in here and check the levels, and then we'll put the bait in. I'm about to put the heater in and see how long it takes for it to heat up to a good 80, 82. This little heater is the perfect size to fit inside the filter, and on top of that I'm just going to put in the little BioMax cubes. I'm gonna put the lid on this and wait a couple of hours and see how much the color and cloudiness in the tank changes. We'll see how that looks. So it is now day 5. This tank I started 5 days ago, so it's been cycling for 5 days. The temperature right now, it's about 78. That is without the heater on, so I'm glad that the temp stays at a decent temperature without a heater. Although when we do turn the air conditioner on, I will probably turn the heater on in here, because that's usually when the tank tends to lower in temperature. But now I'm going to put our little beta in here and see how he likes it. He is now in the tank. He seems to be liking it pretty good. I'm sure it's gonna take a little while for him to get used to everything he has now in all the room, but I am excited to see how he makes this his little home and where his little nooks are gonna be and how much he's gonna love it. I guess that concludes the video. I just want to say thank you for everyone who stuck through the whole video and watched my whole process. I had so much fun with this, and I still have so much to learn. So if you guys have any suggestions, any comments, or anything you feel like I should do in this tank to improve the quality in my beta's little life, just leave them down below. And again, thank you for watching, and until next time.